All right. Okay, perfect. The lighting is amazing. All right. Hello there out there. My name is America, and I am an inner wellness coach. And I help women to design, adopt, and embody a higher self-concept to get unstuck in life and become their own rescue. And today we're going to have a webinar. And specifically, we're going to be talking about the 3 ways to break out of imposter syndrome as Black women who desire to stop self sabotage. Now, let's look at imposter syndrome and exactly what imposter syndrome is. So, we're going to go about the books here. And I have done my research ahead of time just to kind of provide to you guys a little bit of background insight. Because with imposter syndrome, it is a get my earphones here. It is a somewhat common term nowadays. Everybody is saying, "Oh, it's imposter syndrome." Oh, they think that they have imposter syndrome, and so on and so forth. They're blaming imposter syndrome for a lot of the things that they're experiencing in their professional life, and in other areas of their life where they want to succeed and they may not be able to acquire that success, right? So from a educational standpoint, imposter syndrome is defined as a psychological phenomenon where individuals doubt their accomplishments and fear being exposed as frauds, despite evidence of their competence. It often stems from self doubt, perfectionism, and comparison with others. The fear of failure and attributing success to luck rather than personal ability or common traits. Understanding and addressing imposter syndrome involves acknowledging achievements, recognizing cognitive distortions, seeking support, and reframing negative thought patterns. Now, with imposter syndrome, it can really cause us to doubt ourselves, as I just stated. And with that doubt really stems from a lack of self trust. A lack of self trust. And when we get into the mind frame of not truly trusting ourselves, not truly believing that we have what it takes in order to accomplish our goals, that can cause us to delay our success and delay the progress that we want to have in life. So that is why it is very important to get to the root of imposter syndrome and to really find out what is causing the imposter syndrome. Now, when we look at imposter syndrome, if you think of a person that may be experiencing imposter syndrome from what society has cultivated from this definition, it may be someone that is showing up shrinking, that may not be in their full power, that it may be a woman that cannot fully articulate what it is that she wants to do, or what it is that she needs to teach, or what it is that she needs to share, whether it be in a from a professional environment or from a personal standpoint. It may just be someone that is not showing up in their full power. It may be a woman that is not fully showing up in her full power. And again, all of this stems from a lack of self trust. And when we look at the root of the root of it all, the root of what is causing us not to fully show up in our power, we can trace it back to a sense of helplessness, right? Because if we truly had the confidence in knowing that we had the power to do what it is that we wanted to do, to show up in our full power, we would. But there has to be some sense of a lack of fully believing in ourselves, which is caused by helplessness, that is causing us not to show up in our full power, in our full brilliance. So that is why it is so important, again, to get to the root. And my belief is the root of imposter syndrome is victim consciousness. With victim consciousness, it is a mentality where we are externalizing our power and really giving up our power to external circumstances, external situations, external people, right? So when we are experiencing imposter syndrome, We are essentially giving up the full power that we know that we have, the full brilliance that we know that we have, the years of education that we have acquired, the certifications that we have, right? And we are yielding those things due to a lack of self-trust, due to nervousness, due to the thought patterns that we are having in our mind, the thought patterns that are continually going on in our mind, that we have etched in our mind from a repetition of thinking the same thoughts again and again and again and again and again. And with being in this particular mentality, it is very important to understand that we are the only individuals that have the power to save ourselves, to rescue ourselves. No one else in our external environment has the authority to do that or has the power to do that. Because it doesn't matter how much support we receive, how much encouragement we receive, even if it works for a split second, it's going to wear off, and we're going to continually feel as if we need external individuals to validate us, to make us feel seen, to make us feel important, to uplift us so that we have the ability to show up in our full power. And we really want to get to a point where we have the ability to show up in our full power without being pep talked by somebody else. We want to be that source of support for ourselves. We want to be that source of praise for ourselves, so that we are not looking in our external reality for that validation. And then there's a sense of feeling as if we consistently need people to show up to show up for us in order for us to be able to be our authentic, true, powerful selves. So that is why it is so important to get to the point where we can fully rely on who we are. We can fully rely on our inner power and fully rely on our brilliance. Because at the end of the day, we all have an internal power within us that gives us the support that we need in order to be the best versions of who we are, right? That power within us is really that God power in us that we have the ability to tap into at whatever time that we desire, at whatever time that we desire to to show up in that way, right? So that's why it's so important to really get to the root of what is causing imposter syndrome, which is, again, my belief is victim consciousness. And to truly get to the root of that victim consciousness, to decipher, are we living life as a victim? Are we living life as a rescuer, or are we living life as a persecutor? And if you want additional background information on the different levels of victim consciousness, you can go into my past videos where I give examples and explanations of all of those particular levels of victim consciousness. But just to kind of give a crash course on those different levels. So in victim consciousness, the three levels are victim, and that is when we feel a sense of helplessness, right? So because we feel a sense of helplessness, we are giving our power to our external world, right? So we are waiting for someone to come and save us. And then there's the rescuer component of victim consciousness, and that is where we feel the need to be Captain Save them. And we feel the need to rescue other people, to protect other people, when in actuality, we are projecting our own desires of wanting to be protected and wanting to be rescued upon others. And we are rescuing others as a distraction from our need to rescue and save ourselves. And then this can really show up to our detriment, because we could become a persecutor and then start blaming other people for why we aren't where we want to be in life, because we chose to try and protect and save them when we should have been keeping our eyes on our own mat. When we should have been keeping our focus on our own lives as opposed to trying to save someone, right? Because if you've ever flown on an airplane, which I'm pretty sure all of you have, the first thing that they tell you to do if something happens, if there's a malfunction, is you have to put the oxygen over your own mouth before you put it on someone else's. Because if you are not fully prepared and fully capable of helping someone else, because you're not fully being the fresh air is not fully being provided to you, you may find that you are not in a situation or a place where you have the ability to fully help in the way that you want to, because you're having issues, they're having issues, right? So why not make sure that you're secure first and then help someone else? That way you have the ability to sustain the help that you're providing to them, because you've made sure that you are well first, right? So those are the three levels of victim consciousness: the first, victim; the second, rescuer; and the third, persecutor, where you are blaming others for why you are where you are in life, because you made the decision to try and save someone else before you saved yourself. So going back to the three ways that we can break out of imposter syndrome as Black women who desire to stop self-sabotaging. So we've gone over imposter syndrome, we've gone over the root of imposter syndrome, which is victim consciousness. So now let's look at three ways that we can break out of imposter syndrome so that we can stop self-sabotaging and show up in our full power to get the success that we desire, to become our own rescue, and to truly become the best versions of ourselves. So the first way that we can break out of victim consciousness is to learn how to trust ourselves. Learn how to trust that we have the ability, that we have the skills, that we have the knowledge, that we have the intelligence to accomplish what it is that we desire to accomplish, to get us out of any circumstance, situation that we may be in that we want to get out of. We have to learn how to have that inner trust. The reason why this is so important is because that inner trust is what is going to activate that God power within. We all have something that is called the subconscious mind. And the subconscious mind holds the information to everything in this world. The subconscious mind has the ability to answer any question that we have, to solve any problem that we have, to get us out of any situation, to find a resolution. However, the level in which you will receive downloads from your subconscious mind is directly correlated to how much you trust yourself, because it is in how much you trust yourself that we have the ability to relax and to allow ourselves to have the spiritual or mental download of the resolution that we need. Because when we are in a state of distrust from ourselves, we find that we are in a constant state of chaos within ourselves. And when we are in a constant state of chaos and no peace, solutions cannot be heard from our internal state, from our subconscious minds, from our spirit. So we really must learn how to quiet our minds down, how to relax, and how to trust ourselves so that we have the ability to receive the downloads, to receive the resolutions to what we are looking for. So that's the first way that we can break out of imposter syndrome, which is to learn how to trust ourselves. And this is something that I teach in my 6-week program, Elevate Her Identity, where I teach you how to design, adopt, and embody a higher self-concept, because all of this is self-concept work. I teach you how to embody a higher self-concept so that you're able to live the life that you desire, so that you're able to break out of the sense of not trusting yourself, so that you're able to get unstuck in life and become your own rescue. So again, that is the very first way to break out of imposter syndrome, which is to trust ourselves. Now, the second way to break out of imposter syndrome is backed by neuroscience, and that is by reprogramming our subconscious mind. Within our subconscious mind, we have a lot of different belief systems that we have acquired since birth. Different belief systems and stories and narratives that we have taken on from our parents, from our siblings, from our environments, from our the way that we were raised, in this and being involved in the different school systems that we may have been involved in. All of those accumulated our belief systems, and everything that we are, everything that we have, everything that we've experienced is a direct reflection of our belief system, which is how we feel about ourselves. At the core root, how we feel about ourselves, what we feel that we are worthy of. So, this is why it is so important on a daily basis to do the internal work to reprogram our subconscious mind so that we're able to filter our reality differently to get a different result, because we're able to show up differently. Right? So that's why it's very important to really get to the root of why we are experiencing imposter syndrome, what is causing it, and then we can then rewrite those belief systems so that we're able to get a new result in life. Now, this brings me to my third and final way to break out of imposter syndrome, and that is to show up differently. And the way that we show up differently is a byproduct of everything that I've explained. We learn how to trust ourselves, and we learn how to reprogram our subconscious mind. Not only learn how, but we implement, right? We need to have that accountability so that we actually implement the things that we have learned so that we then show up differently. When we show up differently in life, we will get a different result. We are at the core root, we're all energy, right? And it has been scientifically proven that each and every one of us has a energetic field that surrounds us. Everybody. That is why we can walk into a room, or someone can walk into a room, and without them saying anything, we can get a vibe from them. We can feel as if, oh, this person, me and them are going to click, or I don't feel right about this person. I'm not gonna engage with them. Just something in my spirit doesn't feel right. Right? That's because on a subconscious level, we're picking up on the energy that they are exuding. Right? They can be the prettiest or the most handsome person. They could dress very well, but it's all about the vibes, the vibrations, the energy that they're exuding, that we're reading on a subconscious level, and that is providing us feedback on how we want to deal with this individual. So, because we all have an energetic field that surrounds us, that energetic field is really attracting our success or repelling our success based upon our belief systems, based upon the thought patterns that we have had on a repetitious basis for all of our lives, right? Because our belief systems are embedded in this energetic field. And that's why we're able to read people on a subconscious level. And we're able to get a feel for who they are, whether we know it consciously or subconsciously. We are all doing that on a consistent basis, 24/7, whenever we are around people. So when we can change this energetic field, and this is something that one of my mentors, Dr. Joseph Dispenza talks about. Once we can change our energetic field and change our energy, our entire life changes. Because we literally become a new person, because we literally adopt a new energetic field. And once we adopt a new energetic field, which is really designing, adopting, and embodying a new identity, a new self-concept, this is when we get a different result from life. This is when success starts showing up instantaneously. This is when you go from being the not self-assured, uncertain woman to being this confident woman that everybody loves and everybody respects, regardless of how they may have interacted with you before, right? Because your energy has shifted. Your energy has shifted. And once your energy shifts, people have to conform to the energy that you are exuding. It's a law of transference. We are all transferring our thoughts upon other people, and they are reacting to us based upon how we think and feel about ourselves, which gets to the core root of the only thing that matters in life is how we feel about ourselves. That's the only thing. The only thing that matters in life, the only thing that dictates our success, the only thing that we can count on and that we can bet on is that life is a direct reflection of how we think and how we feel about ourselves. And that is summed up into one word or two words: self-concept. So that is why it's very important on a daily basis to do the inner work, to do the work on our self-concept, so that we're able to get what we want out of life, so that we don't have to work hard and strive hard and attempt to change the mirror of life from our external reality. All of life is an inside game. All of life is an inside game. Once we get this, we can learn how to hack into the game of life and create anything that we desire. Anything that we desire. But first, we have to know how to, and then we have to implement and have the accountability so that we are implementing on a consistent basis so that we're able to get the results that we want. And talking about changing our lives and getting the results that we want. If you know that you are dealing with imposter syndrome, if you know that you have issues with victim consciousness, you have issues with feeling like you're a victim, you may have issues with feeling like you need to rescue people all the time, or you may be that strong friend that nobody is there for, or you may be in a state where you are blaming everybody for the way that your life has turned out. Even though you may be highly educated, even though you may have achieved so many things in life, you may still feel stuck in an area of life. You may still feel as if, because this has happened to me in my past, because I grew up this way, this is why I am the way that I am. And it's not fair. And I don't know how to get out of it. You are not stuck in your current situations. You're not stuck in your current place in life. You can change in any moment who you are and what you are experiencing so that you're getting the results that you want out of life by changing your self-concept. Now, if this information is resonating with you and you're like, you know what? I'm ready to make the change. I'm ready to do the inner work to change how I look at myself so that the world changes how they see me and that I'm able to get the results that I want out of life. I want to extend to you the help that you need in the form of my 6-week program, Elevate Her Identity, where you will learn within 6 weeks how you can discover the root belief systems that are causing you not to get what you want in life, in whatever area it may be, right? And then we're going to rewrite those belief systems by reprogramming your subconscious mind. And finally, I'm going to be there with you one-on-one to give you that accountability that you need to ensure that you're able to follow through, that you're able to operate from a place of excellence. Because all excellence is the ability to complete. So I'm going to ensure, but with the accountability that I'm providing to you, that you have the support that you need in order to complete what it is that you desire, to complete reprogramming your subconscious mind so that you're able to get those results that you want, so that you're able to live that life that you want, so that you're able to show up differently and get different results. But you first have to make the decision to do so. So if this is something that you are interested in, I have provided the link below for the consultation call. And let me do it one more time. For the consultation call, so you can schedule the call. And from there, we can have a discussion to see if you are a good fit for the program. And if you are a good fit for the program, you will then be extended an invitation to join. All right, so I have put the link for the program in the chat. I'll also put it in the description box for this webinar for anyone that is watching the replay. And if you are really ready, finally ready to change your life, if you are finally ready to get what it is that you want and to stop living life from a place of chaos and live life from a place of peace, and knowing that you are in control of your life because you have the key to controlling everything that dictates your reality, which is your self-concept, go ahead and click the link in go ahead and click the link and schedule the consultation call. And I look forward to speaking with you soon. Until next time, my name is America, the Inner Wellness Coach, and I will help you to design, adopt, and embody a higher self concept so that you're able to get unstuck from life and become your own rescue. So until next time, talk to you soon. Bye.